Ladies and gentlemen, I want to speak to you today about something that can truly change the direction of your life. It's a message about love, about strength, and about letting go. The title of today's talk is Love Yourself Enough to Let Them Go, Let Them Miss You. You are valuable, you are worthy. Too often we find ourselves measuring our worth by the approval of others, by their love, or by their acceptance. But let me remind you today, your value does not come from someone else's opinion of you. Your worth is not determined by how others treat you or how they see you. It comes from within, and it's something that is inherent in who you are as a person. The truth is, you are a masterpiece. When you realize that, it changes everything. It gives you a new perspective on the way you live, the way you carry yourself, and the way you interact with the world around you. You no longer have to seek validation from others to know that you matter. You no longer have to give so much of yourself to people who don't appreciate your true worth. You start to see yourself through the lens of love, strength, and purpose. We live in a world that constantly tries to define us by external standards, how much we make, how many people like us, how successful we are in the eyes of others. But that's not where your true value lies. The world might tell you that your worth is measured by these things, but let me tell you, those things are fleeting. People can change their minds, opinions shift, and circumstances can shift in an instant. But your worth, your intrinsic value, is something that no one can ever take from you. It's easy to forget your worth when someone doesn't treat you the way you deserve to be treated. It's easy to start questioning yourself when you feel overlooked or undervalued. But you have to understand this, no one's behavior or words can define who you are unless you let them. The power lies within you to claim your worth, to stand tall, and to refuse to be swayed by the opinions of others. When you love yourself enough to recognize your worth, you stop tolerating anything less than what you deserve. Your value doesn't fluctuate based on someone else's actions or approval. It doesn't rise or fall based on what others think of you. It is unshakable, unchanging, and constant. When you truly understand this, you no longer feel the need to chase after people or circumstances that don't align with who you are. You stop trying to prove your worth to others because you know that you are already enough. You are worthy of love, respect, and happiness just as you are. Sometimes people don't see your value right away. They may take you for granted, or they may not recognize the greatness within you. But that doesn't diminish your worth. In fact, it's often a sign that it's time to move on, to surround yourself with people who see your value and who lift you up. Don't waste time with people who don't appreciate you. Your worth is too great to settle for anything less than what you deserve. You must learn to love yourself enough to protect your worth. Don't give it away to people who are not worthy of it. Respect yourself enough to set boundaries, to say no when necessary, and to walk away from situations or relationships that don't honor who you truly are. When you truly value yourself, you make choices that reflect that. You make decisions that align with the love and respect you have for yourself. Sometimes we hold on to people and situations far longer than we should, believing that if we just try a little harder, things will change. We stay because we hope for improvement. We cling to the idea that things will get better if we give it enough time, enough love, enough effort. But here's the reality. The past, as painful or as comforting as it may be, is exactly that, the past. It cannot be changed. And it no longer serves you in the way it once did. It's time to release what's holding you back and step into the new. Letting go is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. It takes courage to release something or someone that no longer adds value to your life. Often we're afraid of the unknown, of what's on the other side of letting go. But the truth is, when you let go of what's no longer serving you, you make space for something greater, something more aligned with your future. You make room for growth, for new opportunities, and for relationships that lift you up rather than hold you down. When we hold on to people or circumstances that are no longer beneficial, we are essentially keeping ourselves stuck. We trap ourselves in a cycle of longing for what was or could have been instead of moving forward into what is meant to be. Yes, there may be pain in letting go, but there is even more pain in remaining in a place that's not helping you evolve. The fear of being alone or of facing the unknown may seem overwhelming, but trust that once you release the past, you'll discover a freedom you never imagined possible. Letting go isn't just about people or relationships. It's about letting go of old patterns, old beliefs, and old habits that limit you. It's about shedding the weight of negativity, resentment, and anger. Those emotions may have served you in the past, but they don't serve you now. They keep you tethered to a version of yourself that's stuck in a story that's already ended. Let go of the bitterness, the anger, and the regrets. They only drag you down and prevent you from moving toward the bright future that awaits. It's also important to recognize that letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It doesn't mean you don't love or appreciate the people or experiences from your past. Letting go is an act of self-care, of choosing what's best for your future, rather than staying tied to something that holds you back. You can honor the lessons and the memories without carrying the weight of them indefinitely. The strength to let go is the strength to choose yourself, to prioritize your peace and your well-being. Sometimes the hardest part of letting go is realizing that no matter how much you want something to work, it may simply not be meant to be. Whether it's a relationship, a job, or a situation, you have to trust that there is a plan for your life that's bigger than what you can see in the moment. The people, opportunities, and circumstances that align with your purpose will find you when you make space for them. When you let go of the things that weigh you down, you give yourself the chance to truly soar. Letting go is not about forgetting the past, it's about accepting that it's no longer your reality. It's about embracing the fact that you deserve more than what you're holding on to. In that release, you'll find a sense of freedom and a renewed sense of hope. The future filled with promise and possibility is waiting for you to step into it. When you love yourself, you understand that you are worthy of respect. It's not just about how others treat you, it's about how you treat yourself. Respect is the foundation of any healthy relationship, whether it's with family, friends, or romantic partners. If you don't respect yourself enough to set boundaries, others will not know how to treat you either. Respecting yourself means valuing your time, your emotions, your energy, and your worth. It means not settling for anything that compromises your peace, your well-being, or your happiness. Too often we give too much of ourselves to situations or people who don't return that same level of respect. We make excuses for others' behavior, we overlook red flags, and we tolerate things that we should never tolerate. But when you respect yourself, you don't let people take advantage of your kindness or push your boundaries. You realize that your time and your emotions are precious and they deserve to be treated with care and dignity. When someone treats you poorly or doesn't value you the way you deserve, loving yourself enough to walk away is the most respectful thing you can do for both you and them. Self-respect means knowing when to say no. It means not feeling about putting yourself first when necessary. It's about recognizing that your happiness is just as important as anyone else's, and you are not obligated to sacrifice your peace for the comfort of others. It's easy to feel pressure to say yes all the time, to please others, to accommodate their needs before your own. But self-respect teaches you that your needs matter too. You have the right to prioritize your own health, mental well-being, and personal growth. When you respect yourself, you refuse to tolerate toxic behaviors, whether it's disrespect, dishonesty, manipulation, or mistreatment. You set clear boundaries with people and situations that threaten your peace. This doesn't mean you stop being kind or compassionate. It means you no longer accept things that drain you, belittle you, or cause you harm. You understand that in order to grow, you must protect your inner peace. And if someone consistently disrupts that peace, they do not deserve a place in your life. Self-respect also means recognizing your worth in the way you talk to yourself. Often we can be our own harshest critics, doubting our abilities, questioning our choices, and speaking to ourselves in ways we would never speak to anyone else. Loving yourself enough to respect who you are means changing that inner dialogue. It means speaking life into yourself, affirming your strengths, and acknowledging your growth. It means knowing that mistakes don't define you and that you are more than the sum of your past experiences. Respect is not something that should be earned over time. It should be given freely to yourself and to others. When you show respect to yourself, you set a standard for how others should treat you. You don't chase after people's approval or validation. You walk confidently in your worth, knowing that you are enough just as you are. And in doing so, you inspire others to treat you with the same respect and kindness that you offer yourself. In life, we often get caught up in the rush, the hustle, and the demands of daily living. We're so focused on doing, achieving, and meeting expectations that we forget to give ourselves the space to grow. But growth requires room. It requires the freedom to evolve, to learn, and to become who we are truly meant to be. In order to grow, sometimes we have to let go of the things that are weighing us down, old habits, limiting beliefs, toxic relationships, and even the comfort of familiarity. When you let go, you give yourself the space to grow. You stop holding on to things that no longer serve you, and you open up to the possibilities that await you in the future. The truth is, we can't move forward if we're constantly looking back, if we're always tethered to the past. Growth doesn't happen when we stay stuck in what was or in what we wish could have been. It happens when we release the past and create space for new opportunities, new experiences, and new challenges that allow us to stretch and expand. Letting go is not always easy, especially when you've invested time, energy, or emotion into something. Whether it's a relationship, a career, or a situation that feels familiar, the idea of letting go can seem overwhelming. But you must understand that holding on to things that no longer serve your purpose only keeps you trapped in a cycle of stagnation. It's like trying to run while carrying a heavy burden. You can't move freely, and you certainly can't move quickly. But when you release that burden, you suddenly find yourself lighter, more flexible, and ready to move forward with confidence. When you create space for growth, you also allow for transformation. Often we stay in situations because they offer a sense of security, even if they are holding us back. We fear the unknown, so we cling to what feels safe, even if it's not where we're meant to be. But true transformation requires you to step out of your comfort zone, to embrace the unfamiliar, and to take risks that will ultimately lead you to greater things. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens when you step outside of what you know, when you challenge yourself to go beyond your current limits. The space to grow is also the space to heal. Letting go of past hurts, disappointments, and failures creates room for emotional healing. When we cling to old wounds, we prevent ourselves from moving forward and learning from those experiences. Healing doesn't happen when we're stuck in bitterness, resentment, or regret. It happens when we forgive, release, and choose to move forward with grace. Creating space for healing allows you to let go of emotional baggage that can weigh you down, freeing you to embrace the future with a sense of peace and possibility. Letting go also means letting go of the fear of failure. When you make room for growth, you acknowledge that failure is not something to be feared, but something to learn from. Every setback is a lesson. Every obstacle is an opportunity to grow stronger and wiser. When you let go of the need to be perfect, you free yourself to try new things, take chances, and move toward your goals with faith and courage. As you create space for growth in your life, you are giving yourself permission to become the person you were always meant to be. You are opening yourself up to new beginnings, new dreams, and new chapters that will allow you to expand, evolve, and live a life full of purpose and fulfillment. The key is to let go of what's holding you back so you can embrace the future that's waiting for you. When you begin to let go and trust that there is a plan for your life, something beautiful starts to happen. You surrender the need to control everything. This doesn't mean you become passive or give up on your dreams. It simply means you place your trust in a higher purpose, in a force that's greater than yourself, knowing that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Trusting God's timing means understanding that there are seasons in life, and sometimes the things you want most are just not meant for you at this moment. We often get frustrated because things don't happen when we think they should. We feel the urgency, the pressure, the anxiety of wanting things to unfold faster, but the truth is, rushing things often leads to more stress and more mistakes. There's a reason why things take the time they do. The waiting period, as difficult as it may be, is a necessary part of the process. It's in those moments of waiting that we grow, that we learn patience, resilience, and faith. And while we wait, God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating the events of our lives to align perfectly with our purpose. Trusting God's timing also means accepting that some things simply aren't for us, no matter how hard we try and much we desire them. This can be one of the most challenging lessons to learn, but it is also one of the most freeing. It's a reminder that we don't have to have all the answers or know all the details. We only need to trust that what is meant for us will find us, and that sometimes what we think we want might not be what's best for us in the long run. There is peace in surrendering the need for control and knowing that the right opportunities, the right people, and the right circumstances will come at exactly the right time. When you trust in God's timing, you stop forcing things to happen. You stop making decisions out of fear, desperation, or impatience. Instead, you make decisions from a place of peace and faith, knowing that you are in the right place at the right time. You start to understand that the things that don't happen immediately or the doors that don't open are not setbacks. They are part of the bigger picture, part of a plan that you may not fully understand yet, but you can trust will unfold beautifully in its own time. Trusting God's timing also requires you to trust in the process of growth. When you're in the middle of a difficult season or facing an obstacle, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. You may feel stuck, frustrated, or like you're not making progress, but in those moments, trust that you are exactly where you need to be. Every challenge, every delay, every obstacle is shaping you into the person you're meant to become. Trust that this process is necessary, that it's preparing you for what's to come, and that when the time is right, you will be ready to embrace all that has been prepared for you. When you learn to trust God's timing, you release the pressure of forcing things to happen on your own terms. You allow yourself to be guided, to be led by faith, and to have the confidence that what's meant for you will never miss you. And when it finally arrives, you'll be able to see how every piece of your journey, every step, every twist, every turn was necessary to bring you to this moment. In the waiting, you find purpose. In the uncertainty, you find peace. And in the trust, you find hope. There's something incredibly powerful about letting someone miss you. We live in a world where we often feel the need to be constantly available, to always be present in the lives of others, to chase after relationships and situations that might not truly be for us. But sometimes the greatest strength you can show is to step back, let go, and allow space for others to recognize your value. When you stop chasing after people and start focusing on yourself, something amazing happens. They begin to notice what they've lost. Letting someone miss you doesn't mean playing games or acting distant on purpose. It simply means choosing to honor your own worth and giving others the space to reflect on your importance in their lives. Sometimes people don't appreciate what they have until it's gone. And when you are always available, always putting others before yourself, you can lose sight of your own value. You may become a presence in their lives, but they may not see the depth of who you are or how much you bring to the table. By stepping away and letting them feel the absence of your presence, you give them a chance to understand your worth in a way they couldn't before. It's also important to recognize that letting someone miss you is a reflection of your self-love. When you are secure in who you are and what you bring to a relationship, you don't feel the need to constantly prove yourself. You know that if someone values you, they will make the effort to reach out to appreciate you and to prioritize your relationship. You don't have to beg for attention or force yourself into someone's life. People who are meant for you will recognize the space you leave and come running toward it, understanding that they've taken you for granted. Moreover, allowing someone to miss you helps create a healthier dynamic in relationships. It shifts the power balance. When you are constantly available and always making the first move, you can end up feeling drained, unappreciated, and undervalued. But when you pull back and let others make the effort, it creates a sense of balance, respect, and mutual investment. Relationships, whether romantic or otherwise, require effort from both sides. If you're the only one showing up, it's time to take a step back and allow the other person to step forward. This doesn't mean you cut people out of your life or play hard to get, but rather that you focus on your own growth and happiness. You stop waiting for someone to reach out, and instead you pour into your own passions, goals, and self-care. When you focus on your own growth and fulfillment, others will begin to see your strength and independence. They'll realize that you are not someone who needs to be constantly sought after, but someone who can stand alone in their own power. This makes you even more attractive and magnetic. Letting them miss you is not about manipulating anyone. It's about being confident in your own worth and understanding that you don't need to chase anyone to feel validated. It's about allowing others the opportunity to reflect on the value you bring so they can come back with a deeper appreciation for you. And when they do come back, they will be more intentional, more grateful, and more willing to invest in a relationship that honors you as you deserve. It's in that space of letting go and letting them miss you that you discover just how valuable you truly are. If you can love yourself enough to let go, you will create room for something better. Trust that your life will be greater on the other side of this. God has amazing things in store for you.